Okay, think about this. A whole week exploring somewhere amazing in Europe, but it costs less than maybe a fancy weekend trip somewhere closer.
Right. That's actually doable in Bulgaria.
Exactly. It's this country filled with, like, ancient history, but also super affordable. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're heading into Bulgaria. Seriously, a hidden gem in Eastern Europe that's just, waiting to be explored.
For sure. And we've got a couple of cool sources to guide us. There's a really vivid YouTube travel guide, brings it all to life visually.
Yeah?
And also a quick, 3-minute text guide for a faster overview. So our plan is to pull out the best bits, the most interesting stuff from both.
Right, give you a good feel for the place, whether you're actually thinking of going or just, curious. Okay, so let's jump in. Sofia, the capital.
Yeah, Sofia. What's really striking, and both guides mention this, is how it mixes super old history with, modern life.
It's a cool contrast.
It really is. The YouTube guide shows it, you literally see Roman ruins, right next to modern art galleries or new hotels.
Right. So not just in a museum.
No, exactly. It's woven into the city.
Right.
Kind of gives you a unique way to see Sofia, its whole identity.
Yeah, I get that. And the text guide mentions key spots like the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, that huge ornate one. And the Bojana Church, that's a UNESCO site, right? Shows the deep artistic roots.
Yeah, centuries of history there.
And even, under the ground, the Roman city of Serdica is apparently under the metro system.
Wild, isn't it? The city is literally built on its past.
Totally. Oh, and for outdoorsy people, the YouTube guide points out Mount Vitosha is right there.
Right.
Over 2,000 meters, great hiking, basically on the doorstep.
Yeah, super accessible. So if Sofia is the starting point, it sets this theme for Bulgaria, History isn't just remembered, it's right there. And from Sofia, we can head to Plovdiv, which takes that history thing even further back, way back.
Plovdiv. Okay, yeah, both guides really hammer this home. It's one of the oldest continuously lived-in cities in Europe.
I know, just think about that for a second. Millennia of people living in the same spot.
It's mind-blowing.
Totally. And you see it in the sites. The YouTube guide shows that amazing Roman amphitheater.
Still used today, right?
Yeah, still hosts events. And the ruins of Eumolpius, too. You get glimpses of the really ancient city. The text guide talks about the old town charm, cobblestones, old houses.
Sounds picturesque.
It really does. Probably stayed important because it was always on key trade routes, That kept it alive.
Makes sense. But it's not just old ruins, is it? This is where it gets interesting. Plovdiv sounds really lively now.
Oh, definitely. The YouTube guide highlights this growing food and wine scene, lots of traditional wineries to check out. And the text guide adds more art galleries, cool bars, and this bohemian area called the Kapana district.
Kapana, okay. So it feels like the past and present are really feeding off each other there.
That's a great way to put it. Plus, it sits on 7 hills with the Rhodope and Balkan Mountains around it. Both guides mention that, so hikers love it too.
Another hiking spot. Seems like a theme.
It is. It's a city with broad appeal, history, and modern life all wrapped up together.
Okay, moving on. Veliko Tarnovo. Smaller city, but sounds historically massive.
Yeah, the YouTube guide calls it the City of Tsars. And both sources talk about Tsarevets Fortress. That was the main residence for the Bulgarian rulers back in the day.
Wow.
And the location is just stunning. The text guide describes it perched on this hill over the Yantra River.
Dramatic.
Very. And the YouTube guide mentions these huge stone walls, 1,000 meters long, with 360-degree views. Must have felt invincible. A real symbol of power.
You can just picture it.
Yeah.
And the old town itself, cobblestone streets, traditional houses clinging to the hills, old churches.
Like stepping back in time, yeah. The YouTube guide also mentions a nearby monastery, the Holy Transfiguration of God, apparently has amazing architecture and art.
Interesting how the political center and spiritual centers were often so close.
Tells you a lot about the culture, doesn't it? Okay, let's shift gears. Head east to the Black Sea coast.
Ah, the coast. Sun, sea, sand. The YouTube guide promises pristine beaches and lively resorts. Classic holiday stuff.
Can't go wrong with summer sun, as the text guide puts it.
True, but it seems like there's more than just beaches. Nesbar, for instance. Sounds fascinating.
Oh, Nesbar is special. Both guides highlight the ancient ruins right there with the nice beaches. And its geography is unique. It's on an island, connected by just a narrow causeway.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the YouTube guide talks about all the different civilizations that left their mark. You see it in the ruined churches, like St. Stephen from the 11th century, or Christ Pantocrator from the 13th. They call it the Pearl of the Black Sea.
Pearl of the Black Sea, I like that.
And it's a UNESCO site. The text guide notes that, which, always signals something important. Cobbled streets, churches by the water. It's got that charm.
Sounds lovely. Then there's Varna, third largest city.
Yep. And the YouTube guide calls it maybe the most sophisticated seaside place in Bulgaria. It definitely has a rich history to go with its modern vibe.
Okay, like what?
Well, the Varna Archaeological Museum, that's where they have the world's oldest gold treasure.
Wow, oldest gold. Seriously?
Yeah, unbelievably old. A direct link to the deep past. And then there are huge Roman baths, the biggest in Bulgaria. Plus a Baroque opera house, the big cathedral, shows how the city grew over time.
And it sounds modern too. Beaches, dining, shopping.
Absolutely. The YouTube guide mentions 3 main beaches with everything: restaurants, water sports, shops, and useful tip, English is widely spoken there.
Good to know. The text guide also throws in Sozopol and Sunny Beach as other options.
Right. Sozopol, the YouTube guide mentions, is actually Bulgaria's oldest town, founded by Greeks way back in 610 BC.
Older than Nesbar.
Apparently. Known for arts, archaeology, ancient walls, lots going on there historically. Sunny Beach, on the other hand, is more the place for pure nightlife and parties.
Gotcha. So variety on the coast.
Definitely. Something for everyone.
Okay, let's head inland then. Away from the sea into the mountains.
Yeah.
Both sources rave about the ranges. Balkans, Rila, Pyrenees, paradise for nature lovers, they say.
And it's the variety again. The YouTube guide says they're great for hiking, trekking, even wildlife watching. And tucked away in these mountains are some really significant places, like the Rila Monastery.
Ah, yes, the Rila Monastery. Heard a lot about that. Spiritual heart of Bulgaria.
That's what the text guide calls it, and it fits. Founded way back in the 10th century by St. John of Rila. The YouTube guide explains it's been a huge pilgrimage site for ages, but also fascinating for tourists.
It had other roles too.
Yeah, it sheltered revolutionary heroes like Vasil Levski, and it was crucial for preserving Bulgarian literature. They have hundreds of old manuscripts there. Its survival through tough times says a lot about Bulgarian resilience.
Wow. So history, spirituality, nature all coming together.
Exactly. It's a powerful place. And then for a different mountain experience, there's Bansko.
Bansko. Skiing, right?
That's the one. YouTube calls it Bulgaria's top ski destination down in the Pirin Mountains.
And it's meant to be a good alternative to, say, the Alps, price-wise.
Definitely. The YouTube guide points out it has a long ski season, competes well on quality, but costs less. Plus, the town itself has these traditional restaurants called mahanas.
Mahanas.
Yeah, traditional taverns. Plus nightlife, spas, the whole package. The text guide agrees, calls it affordable and scenic, and mentions Borovets and Pamparovo as other ski options too.
Okay. And the 7 Rila Lakes. The text guide mentioned those too.
Right, another stunning natural spot in the Rila Mountains. Glacial lakes. Beautiful.
So, coast, mountains, lakes. Pretty diverse nature.
Incredibly diverse. Which brings us maybe to the culture itself.
Yeah, let's talk culture. The text guide describes it as this rich mix, Slavic, Thracian, Ottoman influences all blended together.
You can still see that blend today, apparently, especially in rural areas. Folk music, those amazing colorful costumes you see at festivals, Orthodox traditions are still strong.
And the food. The text guide made it sound delicious, hearty, flavorful.
Yes. Mentioned shopska salad.
Oh yeah, that's the famous one with the cheese, right?
That's it. And banitsa, that's a pastry, usually with cheese. And kavarma, a kind of slow-cooked stew, sounds like proper comfort food, reflecting the land.
Definitely. And you can't forget the rakia.
Ah, the fruit brandy.
The text guide suggests sharing a glass with locals as part of the experience. A taste of Bulgarian hospitality.
Sounds like a plan. Now, the YouTube guide gave us a couple more quick stops. Koprivshtitsa.
Yeah, sounded interesting. Colorful houses, traditional architecture, but also historically important. Something about the April uprisings.
Right, it was apparently central to that uprising, a key moment in Bulgaria's fight for independence. So it's peaceful now, but steeped in history.
And it has these preserved houses, like museums almost. Oslikov House, Topolova House, showing life back then.
Exactly, real gems. And Sozopol came up again, just reinforcing its reputation for arts and history.
Right, and Burgas, another seaside town.
Yeah, but maybe a bit more modern. Developed more in the 20th century as a port, has a nice promenade, quieter beaches perhaps than Sunny Beach.
Okay, so lots of corners to explore.
Definitely. So, wrapping this up, what's the big picture? Bulgaria really comes across as this incredibly compelling mix, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've got the super ancient history, but it feels alive, not just dusty.
Right. And the stunning nature mountains, coast, a really unique culture, the food.
And the affordability factor is huge. Makes
Yeah.
it accessible.
Exactly. And we've really only scratched the surface here today with what the guides showed us.
Totally. It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? Like, listening to all this, the ancient ruins, the mountains, the Black Sea, the culture, what part of it grabs you the most? Is there one place, like Plovdiv or Rila Monastery or maybe Nisibar, that makes you think, yeah, I want to know more about that?
It feels like there's a different side of Bulgaria waiting for everyone to discover, you know?
Absolutely, something to chew on.